vintage gangsters, Karim Lala, Haji Mastan, or Radharajan Mudaliar, who very clearly, sir, and I leave you to tell the story, had demarcated their territories. They would not shoot at each other, and they would not go after the families of each other.
But if you look at the other 95% of the police, they were dedicated, loyal, simple. Even today, when my name is told, they stand up and salute, kind of a loyalty they have. And they will go between a bullet and me anytime. Because so much so that when I did all these operations of all these encounters and various other things, I never took protection. I believed Mumbai police is behind me, surrounding me 360 degrees, upper, niche, side mein, everywhere. So some Americans sent me a postcard also saying that, dear cop, you look after your flanks, that's what he wrote. Piche, you take care of your backside is what he wrote. Unknown American, because it was all coming in the TVs, channels and things like that. So I took it seriously, but I never took a policeman or a gun with me because of this fierce loyalty of the police. For that, I want you to appreciate that the entire pivot on which the mafia thing rotates is making money. There is no religion, there is no politics, there is no region. South Indians come and rule Mumbai and North Indians go there to rule everything. Chota Rajan was part of this gang, as the company movie showed. They grew up as a family. He split only during 1993 bomb blast of 12th March 1993, where they brought 4,000 kilos of RDX and Dawood Ibrahim brought it. It is the biggest anti-national act for which no Indian will pardon, definitely not me.
It's a matter of great pride for me that this morning we have the excellent D. Sivanandan, sir, IPS retired, former police commissioner of Mumbai, former director general of police Maharashtra, and really a man whose service to the nation is something that we need to take cognizance of. I wish in the middle of this radio interview, I could stand up and salute him, but his services to the city, to the state, and the nation is the stuff that has gone down in the annals of history. From me, Hrishi K, everybody who's watching, listening, please welcome the 1976 batch Indian Police Service officer belonging to the Maharashtra cadre. Wonderful to see you, sir. How are you? Looking sharp as always.
Thank you so much. That's our profession. To look good is the only job I do at the age of 75. Nothing better to do.
Sir was telling me about his daily regime, waking up at 4:45 and going to the gymnasium in the morning, and then also doing his steps later in the day. The prime reason is here, the Brahmastra Unleashed, a first-person account of how the Mumbai underworld was annihilated, is out on all on-ground as well as online stores. Please go and get it. It's an incredible non-fiction book. The cover is designed by Nina Gupta and it's released by Indus Source Books. It is a very, very breezy read. And the last time we spoke to him was when he was with Chanakya Pillai, my friend Radhakrishnan Pillai, Chanakya's 7 Secrets of Leadership, in which he was the co-author. And of course, we've also covered his Roti Bank. I want to start with how, JF Ribeiro, M.K. Narayan, these are people who, their heart beats for you. They've written the foreword and they've spoken such eloquent things about you. Please talk to me about Ribeiro, sir, and Mr. Narayan.
Thank you for having me on your show, Hrishi. I really enjoy talking to you because you are knowledgeable about the book and the happenings in Mumbai, what all happened in Mumbai. And before talking about MKN and JFR, I would like to say about my friend Radhakrishna Pillai, because you mentioned that book was written about 10-12 years before and it has sold 130,000 copies, 31 reprints by Jayco. Fantastic. So I'm so happy to be associated with Radha, who has written 24 books on Chanakya. What a man he is, no? Salutes to him. Very young, much younger to me, and an excellent person, and such a humble guy. So that is one. Second is my legends, these people, my Mr. Ribeiro is 21 years senior to me. He is 1953 batch and I am 1976 batch, 23 years senior, and age he is 96 plus 6 months. MKN is 1955 batch and he is also about 92 years old. And to be known to them, and they speak very well about me because I worked with them in multiple places and they have a fantastic memory of what happened. That is a boon. I consider that as a blessing that I am known to Mr. M.K. Narayanan and he has written and he calls me every 15 days and says, why you not call me and what happened to you kind of thing. That is a relationship, family relationship. My book launch at Chennai, he was to come, and he broke unfortunately by a fall and broke his hip, and he still wanted to come on a wheelchair. Admirable. I told him, sir, it's cruel on my part to expect you to come. So he gave a speech, 4 pages, and an IAS officer read it out. So that is a kind of loyalty and relationship, personal, family relationship we maintain during the olden times. But today, it's a different matter, but that is not a point of lamenting here. J.F. Ribeiro sir has come to my book launch on the CCI, my event, the first ever event, and he spoke so very well, so glowing. The first line he said, Sivanandan is a gem in the Indian Police Service. What else you want? In my response, I said, sir, tonight I'm not going to go and sleep because I will not get sleep when you speak so well about me. So like that is our relationship. He did come all the way from his house to CCI at the age of 96 plus. So that makes my day. The job done, book written, they are all secondary. But these relationships and the kind of people talking about you well is a blessing. And I pray to God that it should continue.
One of the beautiful things about this book is Sir has chronicled the history of crime in Mumbai city. And he does talk about the early vintage gangsters, Karim Lala, Haji Mastan, or Radharajan Mudaliar, who very clearly, sir, and I leave you to tell the story, had demarcated their territories. They would not shoot at each other, and they would not go after the families of each other. But all of that changed when Dawood Ibrahim came in, and he had no morals and ethics as far as these things are concerned. So the transition from organized crime to absolute mayhem.
Fantastic question. My adrenaline has started flowing already. To put it in a short sentence, Hrishi, the mafia started in Chicago, Japan, Russia, and various other countries. Here, the Maya Nagari, or the area, the city of dreams, where people came with nothing in the pockets and made into billionaire group, is a place where this started in the year 1920, 1940, 60, 1980, then 2000, then how we closed it by 2001, from 2002 to 2025 January, where Baba Siddiqui shot, we gave a 25-year holiday from shootout. That is the success story of annihilation of the Mumbai. So we can say we changed the crime history of Mumbai. In the year 1998, 101 businessmen were shot dead. And they were all high net worth individuals like Gulshan Kumar, Vallabh Thakkar, Om Prakash Kukreja, Pradeep Jain. These are builders, and the first one is the movie maker, song maker, and people like that. Taqiyuddin Wahid of East West Airlines, and so Junit Katav of Katav Mills. So that was mayhem. How it became zero. For example, from 1998 July, when I joined as Joint CP, the builders shootout came to a grinding halt. Because of that, in the year 1998, we didn't see any flat being purchased because of the extortion call, and no cars were sold or purchased, and no marriages took place. Mumbai came to a grinding halt as far as business is concerned. So it became a Beirut. How to switch on and how to do business continuity was the worry of the businessman. Mine was how to make this beautiful city back to its rails and change the crime history. And the same Mumbai police, which earlier was not able to make the mark, how did they do it together as one man? Under the leadership of Mr. R.H. Mendonca, my Commissioner of Police, I was Joint CP Crime. So let us make the hierarchy very clear. Later, Mr. M.N. Singh also was CP with me for some time, or I was with him for some time. I moved on to Joint Director CBI. It's a much better job than this. So that is the history where we could go through the Agni Pariksha, but we delivered the goods. As I mentioned earlier, the shootouts came to a grinding halt. But again, Hrishi, you are a quintessential Mumbaikar. Shootouts are two. One is the policeman shooting at the gangsters. There were also quite a few hundred of numbers. And then the gangsters shooting at each other, that is point 2A, and the gangsters shooting the businessmen. So there are three varieties of shootouts. So as you rightly said earlier, I am picking up the thread from your say, that in 1920, 40, 50, 60, 80, they adjusted so well like a family. You know, family is
Yeah, and
basically
you do say in the book, you're not justifying their crimes. The crimes were wrong.
all wrong.
Yeah.
I'm only talking about the blood shedding part. There was no blood flowing on the streets. Criminalism is, of course, the criminal is a criminal for me, whoever he is, whether he is my family or the mafia family, I don't pardon them. So, I'm only giving you the historical background that they never shot at each other, they never did bloodletting, they met each other and they solved all their problems. And what they did was again narcotics import and all
Smuggling.
weapons, smuggling, gold, electronics, land business, land mafia, everything they did, but smoothly. In that, two factors worked. One is Haji Mastan and Varadarajan Mudaliar spoke only Tamil, and they understood each other well, adjusted each other well, and they were port workers. So, the smuggling business using Samundar and port was very, very easy come true to them. Whereas Karim Lala was the first one who is a tall, well-built Patani gang. So for him, the opponents came, the antidote came in the form of Daud Ibrahim, a Konkani Muslim. And Daud Ibrahim happened to be a son of a Havaldar from crime branch, so he had access to police. Now coming back to your point, the bloodletting and shooting people mercilessly on the road started from Daud Ibrahim, so that's a watershed. So we'll come back to that again. But about the omerta, which is the oath of secrecy or silence, is that they would not harm a policeman, they would like to buy them, be nice to them, bribe them or whatever it is, but definitely not kill them or assault them or anything. The second unwritten oath is that they will never harm the families of the fellow gangsters. So all the gangsters' wives, children and all, they are all going to school, college and they are doing their jobs. So that was something which has never been broken. Of course, they will not harm the policeman for the simple reason it's too expensive for them for the cost benefit analysis, because killing a policeman is considered all over the world a grave crime. In America, they say cop killing is not done. So that is how we worked at it, and it yielded very handsome result. The only break, as I mentioned, was in 1914, J. Day, a Patrakar was shot, one exception. The other one is Baba Siddiqui in 2025 January, where not this gang, the gang belonging to our city, but somebody from Canada called Lawrence Bishnoi, sitting in Sabarmati jail, he had arranged to kill these people. That is the only exception. Otherwise, it's a continuous holiday. The business is booming. We are all sitting in 77 floor, 100 floor. All these things are selling very well. All the builders owe it to me that I had organized their smooth sailing very well. So that is how we change the history. I consider it as a boon, as an opportunity which I picked up at the right time and enacted it to the fullest result, that is giving a 25-year holiday.
There was a phase when encounter killings came to the fore. There were cops who were eulogized, just like the gangsters were being eulogized in Hindi cinema. The cops were being eulogized as people who would go and just kill these criminals and do encounters. And that gave the police force a bad name. Also because then the gangsters started also employing certain cops to do these shootouts. How did you crack down on that and make sure that that didn't happen?
You know, these guys went overboard and they did all wrong things. For every wrong thing they have done, they have gone to jail and they got suspended and dismissed and all that kind of things happened. And wherever things went wrong, they paid a very dear price. But eulogizing part, I must say, it is the problem of the TV, media, glitzy news channels, all of them, and these people going with a smoking gun and doing oof, kind of thing and all. This is paid for brand image making, PR companies were at work, and these guys did it for their own profit of charging people perhaps. So that is a black sheep part of the Mumbai police. But if you look at the other 95% of the police, they were dedicated, loyal, simple. Even today, when my name is told, they stand up and salute, kind of a loyalty they have. And they will go between a bullet and me anytime. Because so much so that when I did all these operations of all these encounters and various other things, I never took protection. I believed Mumbai police is behind me, surrounding me 360 degrees, upper, niche, side mein, everywhere. So some Americans sent me a postcard also saying that, dear cop, you look after your flanks. That's what he wrote. Piche, you take care of your backside is what he wrote. Unknown American, because it was all coming in the TVs, channels, and things like that. So I took it seriously, but I never took a policeman or a gun with me because of this fierce loyalty of the police. So what you talk to us a bad face where this so-called encounter specialists. Now Rishi, I am only breaking the myth by writing this book by saying the Brahmastra is not the encounter or the encounter specialist. It is the law, the majesty of law which is made by the legislators or legislature, and how you implemented. How you means how I implemented it, because I had an opportunity of implementing. This law is special. This is called the MCOCA, Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act. That's Maharashtra Organized Crime Control Act. Put it shortly. That is the Brahmastra. So I am not eulogizing the so-called encounter specialists. I know it was wrong. It went on a wrong direction, but not during my time. On the other hand, I must say, for whatever wrong things they did, there was a petition in the High Court filed by Abu Azmi, Samajwadi Party leader. That is 1997 October, and supported by another petition by a lawyer called Sebastian, and the Bombay High Court gave the inquiry to a judge, principal sessions judge of the Mumbai, saying that is Mr. Agyar, and he investigated. Javed Fauda was the one who was shot dead by the police, and he inquired and said not only that is a fake encounter, that means murder in brackets, fake encounter, murder. 95 other incidents were also fake encounter. That sent the shivers down the spine of the so-called brave heroes, and they went into hiding. I had to win the case by arguing in the court of law. That was done by a legal luminary called Mr. Manohar, B.R. Manohar of Nagpur, free of cost. Of course, my commissioner, Mr. Mendonca, worked very hard at it, and later it went to the Supreme Court. The judgment was in our favor. Justice Ranjana Desai, Mumbai High Court, gave a favorable judgment saying that they were all not fake, they are regular encounters. But however, if you indulge in any of these things later, follow 6 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The book, I have given the link, URL, the judgment ka link I have given, and I have also given the 6 points elaborately. Your viewers can read that and understand. All over the country, this is the one which is implemented, enforced today, because the Supreme Court after 14 years, Justice R.M. Lodha had enforced the same thing. He said this is the right thing. He gave a judgment in our favor. So that is how the so-called encounter specialists came out of the shell, and they did whatever it is, but then under the 4 corners of law. I want to say that black sheep, whoever violated the law or the norm or the moral fabric, they were all behind the bars, they were removed, dismissed, and all that. So I must say, Satyameva Jayate.
Now, Ram Gopal Verma made a movie called Company, in which Mr. Mohanlal, a very fine actor from Kerala, they say played Mr. D. Sivanandan. Did they ever reach out to you for some research material, this, that, or is it their
He
interpretation?
did, no. It's a movie. It's not a documentary or a biopic or anything like that. So, RGV, actually, the story is very interesting. He made a fantastic movie called Satya, in which he made a small factual
Vajpayee.
error of saying Manoj Vajpayee was a fantastic actor. What Bhikkhu Mahatre was an eternal living evergreen gangster. Whereas in the movie they show in their over enthusiasm that the commissioner of police who did encounters is shot dead, which is wrong. You go back to your first sentence where you said they have got an agreement or a mental thing, promise that they will never touch a policeman. Yeah. How can they dare to show that the commissioner of police was killed? So I took objection when I came. I know when I came as joint CP Crime Hrishi, I was happily fighting the Naxals who were the strongest in Gadchiroli, Chandrapur, Bandara, Gondia. And that was all underneath the vehicle, landmines blowing us up, and ambush where 300 weapons will surround us and shoot us. I did 3 years there and did whatever best. That was another policy. Here it is another policy. You have to change your colors as per the environment and the ecosystem. That's a different story. I'll tell you later. Here, when that happened, I made a hue and cry that how can you show the commissioner of police being encountered by these people and all? Impossible. It can't be shown like that. So he came and met RGV. When we discussed, he found this discussion very interesting as to how the medicine is administered to the deceased and things like that. Disease means the system. He got very impressed and said he will make that movie, and then he came multiple times, who took all the paper cuttings, various things like that. The movie is factual that way, but then it tapers on to a story ending where the Home Minister meets the Chota Rajan character. It all never happened. Neither Chota Rajan came here, nor he met the Home Minister and shot him and things like that. They were all, but he had to make a movie. The movie earned a lot of awards and rewards and recognition and money. So that is a good. To say this man, Mohanlal, he has made a video. I will share it with you the minute our interview is over. The choice of words he used about my book and my thing and the way he acted, he got an opportunity. He is humility personified. And the way he comes out, and that too 2 days after getting Dada Saheb Phalke Award, which is the biggest award, and the way he said, took a thing on his own without my request, I must say he was a fantastic person. And we are lucky to run into such people, you know. So that way, this is a Satya story and the company story. It's a story, but then well told. And Mohanlal did act like me almost 100%.
Good. You are giving him that credit, which he deserves.
Without meeting me. He met me only after the release of the movie.
Wow.
We had a dinner in Taj, and that was for promoting the movie. That is the only time we met. Fabulous. Salute to that doyen of acting.
From the Karim Lala, Haji Mastan and Varadarajan Mudaliar to the Dawood, and then after that, Chota Rajan, Chota Shakil and Gauli, you know, that trio, and, you know, sorting them out one by one couldn't have been an easy job. And using the law to make all of that happen, I'd like you to talk about that.
Yeah, it's an extremely good question, fantastic question. You must know, once when Dawood Ibrahim eliminated the Arun Gauli, Karim Lala, Haji Mastan and Varadarajan Mudaliar era, his bloodletting went unlimited. All these guys started working for them. Abu Salem you left behind, and various others also you left behind. Amar Naik's brother Akshay was also was there, and various others. He is a VJTI graduate. So all these people are belonging to one group or the other. For that, I want you to appreciate that the entire pivot on which the mafia thing rotates is making money. There is no religion, there is no politics, there is no region. South Indians come and rule Mumbai, and North Indians go there to rule everything. Chota Rajan was part of this gang, as the company movie showed. They grew up as a family. He split only during 1993 bomb blast of 12th March 1993, where they brought 4,000 kilos of RDX, and Dawood Ibrahim brought it. It is the biggest anti-national act for which no Indian will pardon, definitely not me. So that is where the split took place, and he went away to Cambodia, Malaysia. He stayed in a yacht and did the same thing. He didn't do any benign chanting of mantra or anything like that, but he declared himself as a national gundar, national gangster, pro-Hindu. So he went and killed Mirza Beg, an MP from Nepal. He killed 8 of those bomb blast accused who had come on bail after 93 blasts. So this is between 93, 94, 95, 98. As luck would have it, on the day of my joining as Joint CP, he had shot 2 of the gangsters who had come out of jail, who were accused in the 1993 blast. That was they said, people said, newspaper said they were welcoming me, salami to the new Joint CP and things like that. Okay, I will put a full stop. That is how it was. So these gangsters, eliminating them is definitely not a cakewalk. It took years and years of practice, and for which I must say I worked in 6 years in the intelligence bureau to sharpen my skills of intelligence gathering. Then I also worked in the crime branch as additional CP between 93, 98 when the bomb blast took place, investigation, charge sheeting and all happened during that time. Then I went to Naxalite area, again my survival and sharpening thing took place. With that background of knowing my team, making a winning team, Hrishi, is the biggest achievement. So you have to have the right people at the right place and give them the job and allow them to do it with all the resources given. I must say we did a concept called the servant leadership. There is a book on that. So I became the servant leader and service them as to what all they will do and see that they don't go astray out of the four squares of law, so that they don't need to be protected in the court of law, and then give them all the wherewithal, training, guns, wherewithal, money, all that, For that, I must appreciate the government. It was run by Mr. Manohar Joshi and Mr. Gopinath Munde as the CM and Deputy CM. They are both not here. My salutes to them. They gave a full support for eliminating this mafia. Now, if you ask me how did the politicians normally are supporting the gangsters, if you are going to ask me that, I must tell a story that somewhere when I joined in 1998 June, July, somewhere near September in Birla Krida Kendra, there was a meeting of 800 trade representatives, and they could not bear that once in a 3-day murder, and they said
You
we
speak
will.
about that in the book, and you say that how they literally screamed at you sitting
Yes,
on the dais.
correct.
With Dr. Manoj Joshi, yourself, Mr. Mendonça, all on that
Even
stage.
Mr. Ribeiro, who is a retired commissioner of police, was there. My God, there's a shower of abuses. Of course, I sympathize with them. That is where my making my mind that this has to be done. They said Black Diwali, we will celebrate, put up flags and all that. It didn't happen because of promises and we started delivering. I must say, I spent a Black Diwali on that time instead of they also, I must say. On 18/10/98, Hrishi, at 5:30, a businessman was shot dead in Antap Hill. I went and visited. Cruel. In front of the family, shooting him and all that. Then in the afternoon, in Dadar, another businessman. So I wore my uniform, went on the Diwali day. Of course, no Diwali for us. This pataka ki jagah pe gun only we hear the sound. So the next one in the evening was Pali Hill.
My God.
3 shootouts on this the Black Diwali is good enough for us, right? Instead of doing 3 days one, they did 3 in one day. That is the challenge. So my heart moved only when I visited the site of Kurup brothers being shot in a Madras cafe in Bandup. The story says that. So that is where there was a change of heart, and then we went all out and finished it to glory.
You know, the thing about this whole gangster movie Nexus is, again, there was a time when they were financing movies, when they used to keep a tab on the actresses. Abu Salem's, of course, affair with an actress became very, very public. Also, the extradition of Abu Salem, because he had gone and sat in Portugal, and an undertaking had to be given to the Supreme Court of Portugal. So the point I'm trying to make is Mumbai police used honest lawyers, because these guys also had lawyers on their payroll. They ran it like a
Fantastic money
syndicate.
they used to pay. To put it on record, Hrishi, to support your viewpoint, all the criminal cases against them were and are acquitted. Okay? Only exception is 17 years before, in this Brahmastra law which I made, Arun Gowli has been convicted in Kishore Jamsandekar murder,
Life
and
imprisonment.
he got a life imprisonment. 17 years he spent. Now, this Abu Salem, Portugal, you said, I was in the CBI. CBI only brought him there. I worked at it, and he was brought from Lisbon. And then again, he's been convicted because we brought him and put him for 3 cases only under extradition we can do. That is his role in 93 blasts and Pradeep Jain and one more case. All of them are convicted. He is in Taloja jail, and he is wanting to go back to enjoy all his leftover property there. And of course, he ruled the roost and controlled the Bollywood under threat and made tons of money. Others are also doing. For example, this Lawrence Bishnoi is also targeting the cinema actor, the famous cinema actor, or Disha Patni and various others, so that they can make the easy money. cozy living by sending a call and take money from them.
94.3 Radio 1.